Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite. Vamos para mais um episódio de Disco Elysium. E vamos resolver esse caso, né? Só tô dando uma olhadinha aqui pra ver o que dá pra fazer, né? Essa psique é muito baixa, né? Acho que eu vou tentar evoluir um pouco essa psique pra poder interagir com o pessoal, né? Aqui no sugestão. Porque aqui em cima, perfeito. Aqui embaixo, Mas aqui, que eu acho interessante, a gente tá muito ruim, velho.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags.
Force time isn't happening. You've jammed the pry bar under the lid, but it just isn't bending.
There's a creaking sound as the pry bar slips under the lid. You hang from it like a moron, huffing and puffing. Unsatisfying, hurtful. You hear a ringing sound, but
The quality of metal is not the problem. From what I see, it's sturdy enough. Let's ask the manager for the key. This is clearly not working.
a simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. Hey there. the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era.
É osso, né?
You could
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight, no explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating. Oh, meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the...
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak, or he just likes unusual words, or both.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need? He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making the...
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like, a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Maybe you should. Cops don't get paid much and the hours are long. Plus, you can get...
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother. Okay, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflect.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
I'm okay, man. Just... the jam's got me down. The fumes, the chemical...
Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct. Damn. It's tricky business looking into someone's eye.
Don't be a stranger.
Foi gostosinha a conversa, vai.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been a silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of..." As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was, well, he blew through the whole national treasury. Starting the decline, his own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line. And stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable, he called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. Beneath the cold waters of the Elysium Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after the original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airship. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reached. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to the statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders. With more, those critics might have it wrong though. There's more to it than just ironism. But you can't say what precisely. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned. Not that he ever did in life either. Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement? Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent. The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her. Why? I just told you why.
Tá, Eu não vou pra lá agora porque ali é onde tá tendo a greve, né?
Welcome to Rivachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300. Every school of thought and government has failed in this city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as him. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Rivachol.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you...
Silence. The air between your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
You two make a cute couple.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officer.
He smells of heavy motor oils and his breath of high tar content cigarette.
It's about biological determination. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep. I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books, huh? The science of racial people who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe, huh? When members of the superior race cease to... The problem? The damn Kips are showing a real good game lately.
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's what the Kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race. With a... Don't push your luck, runt.
Otário. E o tempo tá passando, né? Não posso ficar enrolando aqui.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you... An hour would have been bad. 2 hours is mystical. You have truly wiped out all trace of yourself if you haven't thought about rum and lemonade yet. Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade to yourself, boy. Or bet what happened, man? You used to be cool. Go get your drink on and your act together. A colorful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabin on the counter, rolled out of his open hand. You see a blister pack of headache medicine. It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John. The man does not mind.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
Your fingers find their way into the shackle, flicking open its spring-loaded gate. The metal loop holds the plastic item. The man emits a loud snore. Is he about to wake up? Doesn't look like it, but you never know. No, he's looking the other way, perhaps purposefully. You find a black paper note with a woman's profile on it.
Roubei o cara, velho. Não queria roubar o cara, eu só queria roubar o documento.
5 real. It feels nice and greasy. You slip the plastic ID card out of the loop and pocket it. The man, just for the record, you look nothing like the man on the document. The sleeping dock worker has little to say about your actions. He remains silent. You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens.
Real mature, man. What exactly were you trying to accomplish?
Damn, your feet thought we got away.
You know what? The stupid drinks you've had are on the house. You know why? Because Now, I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window. That's 100 square. Don't thank me yet. You still owe me 100 real. If you don't have it by tonight, I can't let you up there. Now, what the hell did you want? I assume you wanted something to come back here. Mine? No, it belongs to the whirling...
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep...
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too.
I thought as much. And are you the only...
Well, yes. Us and...
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
Callous? What are you? Krasmazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol...
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism.
What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container? We should return to the case of your mistaken identity at a later time, officer.
What for? Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash can...
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please. What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. think they're big shit.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men.
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's saying they'll come after you've slept. Just making clear you got that.
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. No, you don't. Fucker. Lay off the swear words. They don't make you cool. Besides, the RCM doesn't do search warrants. I know the law. You'll just have to wait.
You do realize you can just go into the kitchen at 1300 hours. No need for superstar charm. Sambo is an acronym for Samoan boxing. Graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies step.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see
Another thing. Great. Yes? Yes. Have you got it? A lot. For the room? Like what? I was rarely enjoying talking about the money. Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this...
It's not a shaker. It's nothing. He's holding nothing. It is but an image.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a... Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? That's right. I'm the cafeteria manager.
Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
Even more reason for me not to serve you, sir. Was there anything else you needed? God.
Oh, but he should be. Lay it on him.
Nossa, esse primeiro aqui é osso, né?
Life doesn't have a back button. Now get off your...
Wonderful.
It is. It...
What? What does that mean? Cock carousel? God, does it mean you talk to her?
What else do you need? He looks at you, spinning your arm.
She broke the bird, you know. The great skewer. I found it on the ground with the broken... I should have known. It was her way of telling me to piss off. I should stuff it up my arse.
Or you broke the bird. It can also be that. I think, yes, the bird is connected to this. It's a symbol of hope, and she broke it.
Huh. Cock carousel. I think I understand now. They ride the cock carousel until the clock runs out. Here, have the rest. Now, let me have a drink and think about this shit.
And there we have it. Isn't that beautiful? By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be some... Why did you say that? You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time.
Can I help you? Absolutely out.
Absolutely in the question. Your body is ready, sire. Well, hello. Light reflects off the green glass of the Commodore red. The gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. There's a satisfying pop as the cork jumps out. And the air, nothing. Some mental stuff. Nothing to be... Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble you're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
Yes, it can be difficult to be on the receiving end of so much distrust and outright hate.
Nothing you can say would make you... Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a nervous breakdown. He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at passers-by, shouting, "I never loved that woman." When asked to comment, former colleagues objected to the theory that his psychological disintegration was precipitated by his wife leaving him. "It's because the Furrows lost that match," said Captain Ptolemy Price, once the man's superior officer.
Sim, gente. O alcoolismo matou a gente, praticamente.
This trash container with a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It shouldn't. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Just the feeling. A warning from some... The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out.
Officer, is that your paperwork? It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? Boring. Try dangerous. You should do a thorough inventory of that. Be sure some has not fallen into the hands of the RCM's enemies, organized crime or worse. Official notes sometimes contain informants' names, even undercover operatives. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
Aqui não tem nada pra passar de leve, né?
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your... As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from
The victim's clothes? Cadaver inodor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they will drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or empty. He wore them with a belt, too. The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there?
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste.
E aqui encontramos uma camiseta, então a gente vai...
This is a military type overgarment. No label or serial number.
É interessante, né?
This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But
Alright, we should go to Garth again.
Então
and ask
encontramos
if he knows
aqui
who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as
as
simple
sopas
as someone
dele,
from
né?
the hostel cleaning the yard.
Talvez a gente possa levar
That
pra
one.
delegacia,
I'd
lá
advise
eles
him
consigam
confronting that force.
decifrar um pouco isso, né?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and this establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're...
See?
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron, only in its social sensibility.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item first.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this. No, searching for evidence in the trash. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Baptiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages. The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Então vamos aqui no inventário, né, pra dar uma olhada aí.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed away mug that you dug out of the garbage? But it was in the trash. Why not just call it... It's the legend found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal clean. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper. It's a metaphor for you. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across the entire page. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages. Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. It was presumptuous of me. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous... Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show statements. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, it's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid for once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Nor did I give this to you with resentment.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done. See, you're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Things to be done.
Aí recuperamos aqui a moral, né?
The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains...
No, actually. Any ideas? Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The hanged man. I'm going to start calling it the hanged man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. Why, yes, your precinct number is every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. Feeling isn't really the jurisdiction we're in right now. It takes about half an hour to piece one together using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes. Right, then rip them from the binder and hand them out. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottom, you don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call, all in a print, so a monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow, but they appear pleasantly vague. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copy of paper. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy. Something rattles inside, ever so light, and something small inside. Light, permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot, with your hands. U4 sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board. Is not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess suddenly, it's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have, an aluminium block runs the width of the board. The surface is interrupted by a silvery stick. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned.
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside,
maybe yours.
Tô passando rápido, gente, porque eu tô precisando sair. E aí eu tô lendo meio que por cima, entendendo, né?
Yes, RCM.
This means you can read the.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Então, por enquanto, galera, é isso. Eu vou salvar por aqui. Quem gostou do vídeo, curta, comenta, compartilhe. Um beijão pra vocês e tchau, tchau.